強お前らちゃんと聞け
Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Did Attack on Titan ruin winter 2022? The answer is kinda, yes. Let me explain why using something I call the Drake effect, and then I'll tell you what anime I'm actually going to be watching this season. Before I get into the discussion, I want to give you 3 disclaimers. 1. A weak season is totally normal. It is not the case that every season is better than the last or as good as the last one. It's not crazy that winter 2022 is significantly worse than fall 2021. 2. We have to keep in mind how phenomenal 2021 was as a year for anime. Like, I can reasonably make an argument that 2021 was the best year for anime, period. Both continuing titles, sequels, and new shows. I bet that if you were to look at the average MAL score for the top 20 shows that came out last year, it would be higher than any year recorded on average. I should double check this before the video. I know that it might be controversial because it's a little bit soon. Some people still have an affinity for 2006, 2009, 2012, 2019. I mean, I like 2019. That was the Dororo, Mob Psycho Season 2, Vinland Saga. Phenomenal. But 2021 really is an all-time great year for multiple reasons. Remember, you had COVID building up, so a lot of titles had to be delayed. You ended up with a situation where just a bunch of good shit came out in 2021. And 3, this is by no means a weak season. Yes, it's relatively weak, but there's worse. Summer 2021 was worse. Most of 2020 was worse. So yes, it's a relatively weak season, but it's not an all-time bad season. I do think that the season is carried by either sequels or shows that started airing in fall 2021. So it's not filled with new shows that are really, really good. You do have a couple hidden gems. Most of them, in terms of genres, are diametrically opposite to Attack on Titan. Bear in mind all of those disclaimers. Why am I telling you that Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 contributed to this being a relatively weak season for anime? If you're a music lover or a hip-hop fan, then you know rappers don't want to drop any kind of projects on the same weekend as Drake. If you're a pop star, country star, maybe R&B, possibly you can get away with it, but by and large, if you're an artist, you don't want that smoke. There's even a lyric about it in one of Drake's songs. In Life is Good featuring Future, he basically alludes to the fact that when he drops, you gotta move different. So why is AOT like Drake? Think about the last 2 years of AOT domination. When AOT is airing, it completely sucks all of the oxygen out of the room. Let me take you back in time to Season 3, Part 2, when AOT was airing at the exact same time as Game of Thrones. It was actually the case that this 22-minute show had more anticipation, character building, writing, excitement, mood, ambiance, mystery. This 22-minute anime had more of that than the most popular show on Earth. And Season 3 Part 2 is considered to be one of the greatest seasons for any anime, period. It truly was peak anime, completely captivating, and you saw it on your timeline, like AOT was a part of the zeitgeist. And then they announced final season coming winter 2021. We don't know that they're gonna split it in 2. Now again, you got COVID delays, as well as some shows announcing when they were gonna drop ahead of time. So what ends up happening is winter 2021 is a monstrous season. It is so fucking stacked. You got Kingdom continuing, Jujutsu Kaisen continuing, One Piece continuing. Add to that AOT final season, Laid Back Camp Season 2, ReZero Season 2, Non Biyori, Slime 2, Jobless Reincarnation, Harimia, Stone Wars Season 2, Quintessential Quintuplets, Skate the Infinity, Beastar Season 2, Cells at Work Season 2, Kimono Jihen, and bottom tier character Tomozaki, which I actually like.
What? I love garbage.
No, it's true. It's true.
So the lineup is a monster. Obviously, some shows announced that they were dropping in winter 2021 ahead of time, but I'm sure that there was a batch of shows that said, well, AOT is probably gonna bring extra eyes to the community, so let me go ahead and try to sync up with them to see if I can siphon off some of the attention. But what happened? AOT dominates every fucking thing. The only thing people can watch is AOT. Even me. I'm a pretty hardcore anime fan, and for the vast majority of shows that came out in winter 2021, I put it off until spring or even summer. I forgot to add in Promised Neverland Season 2. Let's be honest about the situation. When Season 2 got announced, everyone was hype. We found out it was ass later, but I still have to say it contributed to us being really excited about that season of anime. And so all these shows drop, and pretty much the only thing anyone is talking about is Attack on Titan. And in that moment, Attack on Titan became Drake. And so that's part of the reason why Winter 2022 looks the way it does. If you're not a show that started in fall 2021, if you're not a show that's coming up with a sequel very soon after dropping your first season, or if you're not a show that's in a genre that's safe, I would say BL, slice of life, maybe ecchi, you don't want to drop in this season. You want to wait until Attack on Titan's finished. Okay, what am I going to be watching from the Winter 2022 lineup? I just spent 5 minutes talking about it. AOT is up there. I'm watching AOT over everything else. I'm also going to be watching Demon Slayer. This season of Demon Slayer is next level. I think it's obviously its best season so far. It's the best arc so far. It's doing everything better. Also, side note, shout out to Otaku God, OG. He made a post, he made a tweet. He said, calling Demon Slayer trash will never get you cool points. That was some of the realest shit I ever read on Twitter. Let me speak to you guys directly. There is a faction of anime fans who think that it's their job to make sure that everyone around them knows that they don't like Demon Slayer, or they think Demon Slayer's trash, or they think Demon Slayer is mid. You're a fucking idiot. At worst, Demon Slayer is an above average shonen. At no point in time can you say Demon Slayer's trash. And for those people who are actually tuned in to the current season, for you to call it mid, they'll look at you crazy. They look at you like you're a fucking idiot, and they look at you and say, oh, you're obviously not watching right now. I think I should make a separate video on this about how anime fans tend to overreact to fandoms as opposed to the shows. Demon Slayer did a lot for anime in terms of popularity, in terms of making it more mainstream, and there is a significant contingent in the anime community who resent it. But that should not stop you from being able to use your brains and think critically. And to be honest, if I was to compare Demon Slayer to one of the darlings in the anime community, Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's done way better in Demon Slayer. Tanjiro's backstory is infinitely better than Itadori's. Itadori's grandfather is a plot device put there purely for Itadori to say, yes, I'll be Sukuna's vessel. Other than that, no point. Fight sequences are better in Jujutsu Kaisen, the choreography is better in Jujutsu Kaisen, but the gap between them is not that large. Visually, in terms of graphics and animation, the gap between Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen is Gojo's infinity. I've had to edit AMVs for both shows. I was actually stunned by how much better Demon Slayer is, visually, than Jujutsu Kaisen. And this season of Demon Slayer is some of the prettiest shit I've ever seen in anime, period. Bottom line is, if you're one of these fans who feels compulsion to rag on Demon Slayer anytime someone says that they like it, do not subscribe to this channel, don't watch my videos, I actually think you're a fucking idiot. Third show I'm watching, 86. I spoke about this show in my best new anime from 2021 video, shameless plug. I really enjoy 86. Very excited to see what they do with the end of season 2. If you want to know anything about the show, my thoughts about it, strong points, weak points, go check out my past video. Those are the only sequels I'm watching. Takagi-san I dropped in season 1, so I'm not going to be continuing it, obviously. Case Study of Vanitas I actually enjoyed, but I don't have the bandwidth to watch it right now. I didn't like Realist Hero season 1. I'm not a big Isekai fan, so. Didn't watch Princess Connect, Ari Furueta, no. So I've given you 3 shows so far. What's the 4th show I'm watching? I am going to continue Ranking of Kings. This is one of my favorite animes, period. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I really hope they stick the landing. I ended up giving it number 4 on my best new anime from 2021 list purely because only 11 episodes came out for the 23 episode season. Big up man like budget. Other show I'm gonna be watching, please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I'm generally a completionist if I get deep enough in a show, and I've watched too many episodes of Platinum End not to actually finish the show. Don't tell people I'm watching it, but I'm gonna finish it. For new shows, definitely watching My Dress Up Darling. I'm doing a separate video on that show because I have thoughts. It's a slice of life romance comedy. Immediately you're gonna notice graphics, absolutely gorgeous, very well done. Shout out to you, Cloverworks. It's about this introverted high schooler, Wakana Gojo. No, not that Gojo. And the evolution of his relationship with this popular girl, Marin Kitagawa. Gojo generally keeps to himself because he has a passion for making Hina dolls in his grandfather's shop. And he's scared that other people are gonna find it weird, tease him for it. He has a childhood trauma that anchors him to this life of solitude. I'm gonna spoiler the next video I'm doing. Basically, Marin Kitagawa, best girl, easy. Huge fan of otaku culture, she's into cosplay. They know what they're doing in this show, I promise. She has more of this impulsive, do what you want, follow your feelings type of personality, which is opposite to what Gojo has. It's part of the attraction. Great thing about Gojo is that he's not actually a pervert, so it makes it more enjoyable to watch. Their lives intertwine because Marin wants to do cosplay, but she can't sew for shit. They do a really natural discovery by Kitagawa that Gojo can actually sew. The show launches from that point. So far, 2 episodes in, absolutely love it. This is the slice of life that the streets needed. Look out for my video dropping soon about it. I'm also gonna be watching Akebi's Sailor Uniform. This is Cloverworks again, but way more wholesome. If My Dress Up Darling was leaning more on the sitcom rom-com side of things, Akebi's Sailor Uniform is just wholesome slice of life to the maximum. This John is gorgeous. It's actually the reason I ended up delaying this video because I needed to see episode 2 to figure out, am I actually gonna watch this thing? It's about a freshman high schooler, Komichi. She comes from a small rural area, always dreamed of going to Robai Private Academy, and wants to wear the sailor uniform like her mom did. She gets there, and the administration already changed the dress code, but they give her an exemption and say, look, we know how much it meant to wear the old sailor uniform. You can wear that uniform if you want. The synopsis for this show really doesn't do it justice, but it is accurate. It is about this girl who really wants to wear this uniform. The name of the show actually explains what happens. And when you read it, admittedly, it's not very intriguing, but I promise you, if you were to pick this one up, you would not regret it. So long as you've been exposed to slice of life before. If you're a shonen junkie or a shonen whore, stay far away from this one. Might as well stick with Cloverworks. I'm also going to be watching Tokyo 24th Ward. This one I'm already a little bit worried about. I can already see some holes opening up with episode 2, but hopefully they can bring it all together. It's a lot of moving parts and a lot to explain. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go through the synopsis, but I will devote an entire video to this one in the near future. Love of Kill is a maybe, generally not a josei guy, not my genre. And also, Song, who is one of the MCs, is a little bit rapey, stalky, sexual harassy, so we'll see. It's about assassins, which I'm predisposed to liking. You have this male assassin, Song, who's pursuing this female assassin, Chateau. Chateau has a mysterious backstory, we'll see more about that coming soon, and she's reasonably suspicious about Song and his intention. Interested to see how it develops, but might drop it after 3 episodes. Last show that I'm going to be watching, already the greatest shonen about mushrooms I've ever seen. It's action, a little bit Mad Max, post-apocalyptic vibes. When I saw the synopsis, I was like, oh my god, what is this? And I watched episode 1, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? Sabukui Bisco. Separate video incoming, automatic for this one. It's definitely a dark horse, definitely slept on, but I anticipate that the fandom for this are gonna ride hard. So I think this might pop up on a couple more people's feeds, provided that it ends up being a good show. So far it's delivering. We'll see if they can maintain the steam. For all the shows that I haven't mentioned, I've either watched the first episode or I'm thoroughly uninterested by the trailer and synopsis. Tribe 9, couldn't get into it. Futsal Boys, I'll talk about why it's ass. Police Dog Pod, no. I was interested in that Prince Debt show, but nah. So this is my list. Let me know what you're watching. Let me know what you want to see from the channel. Up next, I have the My Dress Up Darling episode. I might talk about Futsal Boys and why it was a disappointment. I'm gonna do a no context anime video. So subscribe to the channel, look out for the drops, and hit me up in the comments. Stop playing.